Okay, a very good afternoon to you, and welcome to round 13 of Season 8 of the SRL F1 22 Championship. Round 13 here in Hungary at the Hungarian, and in a few moments' time we'll start with qualifying. Hi Sandra, thanks for tuning into the live chat. It seems like my audio is glitched, so I don't have any music at the moment or any game sounds. Well, the game sound still works scrolling through the menu, so I'm sure it'll be fine when we actually learn through the session. But I might need to adjust the audio levels once we get started with qualifying. Anyway, that's gonna be something we'll see later, but it seems like the menu music is glitched. Anyway, not important. What is important though is the fight in the championship. We've had a really intriguing battle so far this season between Tim Benting and Logan Aron. And I am very excited to see what's going to happen today and how this championship is going to play out. Because Season 8 has definitely been a really good season in SRL, and it's great to see to have a very close championship fight. So thanks to everybody tuning in to the live chat. So we're just waiting for the final few drivers to load into the session. So everybody we've got here today, we've got Sandro Dulis, Lewis Marshall returning to SRL. We'll go into that a little bit later. Vincenzo Torre, Tim Wenting, the current championship leader, Max Mulder, Logan Aron, Alexi Kovenemi, Robin Hersthagen, Cameron Edwards, Jesper Lampinen, Freya Belay, Jure Marusic, Ivan Brito, Dion Staal, Nicolo Falzresi, and Luke Smith. Hi Lewis, are you ready for my big crash? Because I'm definitely not lasting long. We'll see. I mean, it's great to have you back, Lewis, and it's been a while. I think it was season 5 when Lewis Marshall last made an appearance in SRL, so 3 seasons ago. And that means that it's over 1,000 days ago since Lewis Marshall last participated in an SRL race. 1,043 days to be precise. So we'll get ready to start the session. I'll also try to get the co-commentator in here, Peter. So before we get started, I'll try to get into that and quickly make a party. So I'm not sure if he's going to be joining today, but he was supposed to be the co-commentator. But anyway, doesn't really matter because I am hosting the live stream and doing the main commentary. So qualifying has started. Vipo film coming into the live stream saying, I think today could be Freeb's day. Well, Freeb Belay, he's had a very impressive season so far. Ever since he joined this season, he has been very impressive. So it certainly could well be. Flying Ace, also tuning in, thank you very much. I'll also adjust the sound a little bit because it seems to be a little bit low in volume. So let's bump it up to 6 or something. If anything is wrong with the sound, then be sure to let me know. The first couple of drivers heading out on track. It seems like Logan Aron, second in the championship, is heading out straight away. Yeah, I think I'll up the audio a little bit more. Let's put it to 8. I think that'll be fine. But if it cancels out my voice too much, then let me know. I think this is the right setting, being in spectator mode. So, everybody in their outlaps. Then we've got Ewan Music in the Red Bull. The only Red Bull on track today, as of course I am having to miss the racing action, and there is no reserve driver at the moment available because Luke Smith is filling in at Williams. And here is Tim Wentink, the Season 5 champion and the current championship leader. He leads the World Championship by 9 points over his teammate Logan Aron. As he's trying to light up those tires. Here we've got Ivan Brito in the Aston Martin, teammates to Senna Herweijer. Unfortunately, Herweijer is not present today, as Vincenzo Torre already has crashed out of qualifying. That is a very, very early mistake by the Italian. Unfortunately, we didn't pick that up, but he is already out of the session before having set a lap time. Yellow flags as well in Sector 3. So somebody else has gone off, but he is moving again. It was one of the Alpines. I think that might have been Freya Bile. Oh, and the McLaren here goes for a spin. That is... No, that's Cameron Edwards, the number 61 McLaren. Very easy in that corner. Especially if they hit the curb on the inside, it basically auto spins the car around, so you really have to avoid clipping the curb on the inside. For some reason I can't scroll in the spectator menu. We'll try to pick up the couple of drivers that are now on a fast lap. I don't know why my spectator menu is glitched, but I'll have to scroll through the drivers like this. So Logan Aron has set the pace. He has posted a 1 minute 15.838. We're watching Tim Wentink now coming through the final corner. What's he going to be able to do in his first run? Nothing, because he invalidated his lap time. For some reason, I can't scroll through the menu, which is a little bit annoying. Thanks for the 9 viewers tuning in. Yellow flags again. I think that's just for drivers on a cooldown lap. Yeah, Moose is starting his first final lap of the session, the number 29, with the very distinctive orange helmet and a Dutch flag on it. And Tim Wentink did set a 1:16.9, so he did actually post the time. I'm trying to figure out how I can scroll through the menu again, but it doesn't really seem to be working. I'm pretty sure that's a glitch, because I should be able to scroll left and right through here. Hopefully it's going to be fixed for a race, because it's going to be a little bit irritating to look at if I have to scroll through all the drivers like this. That is one of the Williamses who has lost his front wing. That is Luke Smith, so he's made a mistake somewhere. And also one of the Aston Martins, that is Ivan Brito, who has gone for a spin. Oh, and he's just gone for a spin again. Probably with overheated tires. We've also got Nicolas van Gelder joining back to the session. I really want to scroll through the driver list. Can anybody let me know how I can fix this? Yeah, you can see even Brito struggling to get into the pits here. Pick up Sandro Dulis, he is currently on a lap as well. Let's try and get the telemetry up so we can actually see his split times. So still quite a few drivers that haven't set a lap time yet, only the top 10 with Luke Smith running on a 154. That was of course a lap where he made a mistake or backed out of it. So the number 69 Ferrari here of Sandro Dulis coming through the final few corners, turn 13 here, this left-hander, which leads on to turn 14. Always feels like you have a lot of unders here through this corner. Trying to maximize the exits. Sandro Dulis up to the line and he goes 5th with a 1:16.836. And here we can see Fria Bile coming out of the pits, the number 90 in the Alpine. Sensational performance so far from him this season. His first year in SRL and he's definitely proven his worth. And also the first driver in SRL from Ethiopia. So great to see new nationalities coming into the scene here. A couple of drivers inside the pits at the moment. We'll stay with Fria Bile because he is warming up to do a flying lap. Into the final sector. Let's go on board with him, see what he can do. As he is preparing himself to start his second flying lap of this session. Exiting the final corner, opening up the DRS. Up into 8th gear. Braking just after the 100 meter board here into turn 1. Down to 3rd gear. Trying to short shift to maximize the exit, opening up the DRS again. And trying to go all the way to the right here to break down for turn 3. Trying to keep the exit a little bit tight to open up this bit here. Flat out. Now into turn 4, this very quick left-hander. Very easy to cut the corner there. Into turn 5, trying to not clip the curb there on the inside, which can unsettle the balance of the car. Into the chicane now, turn 6 and 7. Back into 4th gear. And now this very twisty bit here in this middle sector. Trying to use all the width of the track. Turn 11. Very tight lap so far here from Fria Bile. Into turn 12, 4th gear again. And now the final 2 corners, turn 13. Staying in 4th gear to help the traction. And now the final corner. He's keeping it in 5th gear also again to aid the traction down next to the final corner. Up to the line and he goes quick as 1:15.704 for Fria Bile. A very, very good lap time there for the Ethiopian. We'll pick at Logan Aron. He's also on a flying lap at the moment. Will he be able to improve on that 1:15.8 to get in front of Fria Bile again? Into the final sector. Again, very, very tight there on the curbs, not exceeding the track limits, using all the width of the track. Into turn 12. And now the final 2 corners. Very, very tight line there for Logan Aron. And now to the final corner. Will be able to snatch back provisional pole position. Run to the line. And it's a 1:15.723 for Logan Aron. He does improve, but he is still 19 thousandths of a second behind Fria Bile's 1:15.7. Tim Wenting seems to have made a mistake exiting the final corner. He's actually going to go into the pit lane. Tim Wenting still in 9th place. He's got to improve. Tim Wenting can't afford to start in 9th position in the back, because he is currently 8th positions behind his championship rival, and also starting in the back is a lot riskier in the first lap and in turn 1. and increase the risk of getting damage at the start, which is of course what you want to avoid. Starting at the front usually makes that a lot easier. Yeah, for some reason I still can't switch between the drivers here, so apologies for that. So I'm having to just scroll through it using the menu on the left. So I think most drivers will be peeling off back into the pit lane again. Sandro Dulis is on a really quick lap time at the moment. He's currently in 7th, but he's improving by 3/10. 54.4 in the final sector. He's gonna improve if he keeps this up in the final sector. He could place himself in front of Lewis Marshall here if he manages to stay those 3/10 below his personal best, exiting the final corner up to the line. Sandro Dulis improves to P5, 1:16.184. Also a very decent lap there by Sandro Dulis. Only 5 drivers left on the circuit, all the other drivers are into the pits to prepare for the final runs. And I think Luke Smith might be qualifying on intermediate tires, because he has done it in the previous couple of races, and I think he's going to do that again. Let's get the tire graphic. He did actually put a lap time in on softs. No, never mind. It was on a set of wets even. So yeah, Luke Smith going for their alternative strategy. We've got a Red Bull here in the final corner. That is Jure Marusic. I think he made a mistake. Or he's waiting for someone. What is he doing? He is stopped on the exit of the final corner. Not quite sure what he's trying to do there. I mean, it's very quiet on track, so it's not a problem for other drivers, luckily. He's not getting in the way, but I don't know why he would stop on the exit of the final corner. Maybe he's trying to sacrifice this lap to wait for someone else to get a slipstream? Possibly. Or he just made a mistake and he tried to cool down the tires. I don't know. So here we can see Nicolo Falzaresi coming off 2 race wins in succession. He won in Jeddah and he won in Monaco. He is currently in P4 in the standings. He is still not really in contention for the championship. But you know, he has been really strong coming off the last 2 races. And if he keeps this up, then I wouldn't rule him out getting into the championship fights in the later stages of this season. He's been very, very impressive in the last couple of rounds. So I think Jure Marusic is also preparing to start his lap now. I don't think there's enough time left to actually go into the pits, but he does actually do so. Oh, you clouds the wall on the left. Luckily, he didn't really damage his car. I don't know what it... I mean, 3 minutes and 26. Yeah, he could get that for a final run if he hurries up. Yeah. Okay, he should be able to get back out in the session. We'll pick up Nicolo Falzaresi, starting his final run here in qualifying. He is already in P3. Let's see if we can break into the 1 minute 15s. Oh, massive snap Vosen on the exit of turn 5. And that is this lap gone. I think he is still fine in terms of damage, so he can still go for another lap if he has enough fuel for it. Costly mistake there by Nicola Valtresi, messing up his first lap of his final run. Let's see if he can go for another one. Here we can see Alexei Kovenemi also attempting to improve his lap time. Most drivers will be starting their final flying laps now. Because I think most of them will only be fueled up to the one lap to be as light as possible. And Luke Smith has left the session. Let's go on board with Tim Wentink here. He is in P9. He's got to improve to get himself up a few more positions and be closer to Logan Ron. Let's keep an eye on his sector splits. He's up by 2/10 in the first sector. Through turn 5 and into the chicane here, turn 6 and 7. All looks very good so far into the twisty section. Let's see what the second sector split is going to be. Oh, he's a little bit offline there, and that's going to be a track limit. He was improving by 6/10. That is very, very costly for Tim Wentink, because that surely would have been an invalidation of his lap time. But he's got enough time to go again. Yeah, I think he's pushing on to just see what this lap would have been if it wasn't for the mistake. Yellow flags as well. One of the Mercedes is of Tim Wentink up to the line, and it would have been a 1:16.2. He does improve to P6, so his lap didn't get cancelled. Tim Wentink goes from 9th to 6th. But that was a massive track extent. I don't know how he got away with that. That must be an abusable track limit. We can see one of the McLarens off there as well in turn 1. So also Tim Wentink had to back out of that because of the yellow flags. One of the Alfa Romeos is off as well. That is Nicola Valtresi. He is facing the wall, so he's also made a mistake. And this is a very tricky spot because he's trying to reverse back onto the track where people are on qualifying laps. So good on him for not trying to rush it. One of the Ferraris is coming up as well. He's got to stay out of the way. Be careful here, Nicolo. He's trying to Austin power himself out of that section to get back on the track. Good on him for not getting collected by anyone there. Logan Ron seems to be on a slow lap. And Sandulis has made a mistake. He is spun coming out of the chicane. So he is also in this very awkward position, having to wait for everybody to come round. It looks like one of the Alpines has made a mistake as well. Lots of mistakes happening here at the end of this session. I think most of the drivers have already set a lap time. Friabile is off there as well. Let's see if Max Mulder can still improve. He is coming up on one of the Alfa Romeos. He's getting held up a little bit here. Oh, and I think he just ran into him. Wow. That was Nicola Valtresi getting into the way of Max Mulder. That could be a penalty coming off Nicola Valtresi's way. Yeah, I think no one is improving anymore. This is Sandro Drulis also off to the side of the track. But Valtresi got in the way of Max Mulder there. That was a little bit silly. He might have not checked his mirrors and might have not seen him coming, but that could well be a penalty going his way if Max Mulder was on the lap there. And seeing his reaction, he probably was. Because it looked like a bit of rage from Max Mulder there running into him. So yeah, everybody has crossed the line, so these seem to be your final results. You can hear the applause. That was probably from the Alpine garage. So So, these are your official qualifying results. It's Freya Belay on pole position with a 1 minute 15.7. Logan Aron in second, followed by Nicolo Falzaresi, Max Mulder, Sander Dulles, Tim Wentink, Alexi Kovanemi, Lewis Marshall returning to SRL for the first time in over 1,000 days. Jesper Lampinen in 9th, Dion Staal P10, Ivan Brito 11th, Kevin Wesley-Everts in P12, Jurgen Rusic P13, Robin Hersthagen P14, Luke Smith in P15, and Vincenzo Torre having to start from P16 after crashing out early on in qualifying. Lewis Marshall tuning into the chat, that didn't go well. Well, I think that was a decent qualifying session. Returning for the first time in over 3 years, that's you shouldn't have the expectations too high. I think that was a decent session, and of course the points are scored in the race. And it is a dry race, but it does seem to be very overcast. Now, of course, as a commentator, I don't have the privilege to know the information about the weather forecast. But it looks like it's going to be a dry race, at least to start off with. I'm really hyped, guys. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. You know, as much as I'm a driver in SRL, I'm also a fan of SRL, and I just love to see what is happening, especially at the front, of course, with this championship fight between Logan Aron and Tim Wentink. And it is just so good to have a very close championship fight again this season in SRL. So yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this race, and I hope that you guys are excited too. So Freya Belay on pole position, Logan Aron, he's had a very strong qualifying session in second place in front of his championship rival Tim Wentink. He's going to be looking to take a couple of points away from his teammates. Nicolo Falzaresi, very solid qualifying as well into P3. Max Mulder, well done as well to him, qualifying his Mercedes in 4th place. Sander Dulles in P5. Also a very decent session from him. I think Tim Wentink is going to be slightly disappointed with P6 being 4 positions behind Logan Aron. Alexi Kovanemi in P7, followed by Lewis Marshall, returning to SRL. His first race in 1,043 days for the Englishman. Followed by Jesper Lampinen, Dion Staal, Ivan Brito, Cameron Wesley-Everts in P12. Jurgen Rusic in P13 is looking to score a couple of points today in front of Robin Hersthagen. Followed by the reserve driver Luke Smith in the Williams. And the Alfa Romeo of Vincenzo Torre starting from the back. So Freya Belay trying to warm up those medium tires. Luckily I can scroll through the menu again, so that is all fine. Let's get the tire graphic as well. So some drivers starting on mediums, a couple of drivers actually opting for the hard tires, including both the Haas teammates. So they're gonna prefer having a softer compound in the second half of the race. Everybody parking into their grid slots as we get ready to start the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Lights on red. Round 8 of season 13 is underway. Good start there from Freya Belay, already maintaining his lead into turn 1. Logan Aron there on the inside. What's going to happen behind them? Tim Wentink has got through as well. Couple of drivers off there, it seems. I think that's Jurgen Rusic. He's already dropped back to last position, but looks like everybody has gone through the first couple of corners without too many issues. And Tim Wenting, really good start from him, already up into 4th place, gained 2 positions of the start. It was crucial to get through that first corner, not getting any damage. I think it was Max Mulder there having a bit of a moment on the exit of turn 5. So Free Bile still leading the way. We had WIPO already saying in the live chat before qualifying, this could be Free Bile's day, and he has done everything right so far, already pulling out a little bit of a lead over Logan Ron. 8 tenths the gap to the number 91 in the Haas there, followed by Nicola Valtsreci, the race winner from the previous 2 races. Free Bile, he has maintained the lead after his start, and he opens lap 2, leading the race. Logan Ron, he has maintained his position as well, and is still in front of his teammates, crucially. Oh, Max Mulder there with a bit of a twitch on exit of turn 1. And that has lit the eyes up of Alexei Kovenemi in the L for Tauri. Further back was Sander Dulis here in P7, followed by Jesper Lampinen. Further back Robin Herstag making a move on Vincenzo Torre in the Alfa Romeo, side by side there through turn 4. It's going to be Herstagen here on the outside, and has to back out of it. Yellow flags as well, somebody is off. That was one of the Alpines, that was Jesper Lampinen. He is still in the race, but he has lost a lot of time. Already Free Bile pulling out 1.2 seconds, trying to break himself away from the group behind him. Really impressive pace early on in this race from Free Bile. Nicola Valtsreci, he is still able to stick with Logan Ron in front of him. Tim Wenting, he is just trying to follow this pace and stay in touch with those 2 cars in front of him. He's going to be desperate to finish in front of Logan Ron today. As we open up lap 3. DRS has been enabled, of course, from this lap onwards. Alexei Kovenemi there, still trying to find his way through on the Mercedes in front of him. And Ivan Brito here battling with the McLaren of Robin Hersthagen. And he's up into P13. And behind them, also Jurgen Rusic after that bad start, coming back into frame here in P15. So the race has settled down a little bit now. Everybody has got into a bit of space. We can see Jesper Lampinen, he has made a mistake again, so he is really struggling in this opening phase of the race. He's going to hope for a safety car later on. Lewis Marshall, he is still in P8, running in the position where he started. Also on those hard tires, he's going to have an advantage later on in the race. Good to see this guy back in SRL, because like I said, this is his return after being 3 years away. We can see Alexei Kovenemi there as well making a move on Max Mulder. I think he made a mistake coming out of the final corner, so that allowed Alexei Kovenemi to get through into 5th position. We can see Sander Dulis as well closely behind. And it seems like Max Mulder is just struggling a little bit at the start of this race. Also Vincenzo Torre has got through on Dion Staal. And also Nicola Valtsreci is very, very close to Logan Ron in front of him, just 3/10 separating them. And he's going to have the DRS as well. I think, yeah, Logan Ron is not going to have DRS on the straight because Free Bile has already cleared the DRS 1 second window. He is leading by 1.5 seconds. So let's see if Nicola Valtsreci will attack Logan Ron on the start-finish straight. Yellow flags. Oh, that is Dion Staal. Dion Staal has spun his car around, and he's down into P15. He's lost his front wing, so he's going to have to pit. Jesper Lampinen also went to the pit lane, possibly for repairs as well. So very disappointing for Dion Staal to make that mistake early on in the race. And he's probably going to fall back into the clutches of Jesper Lampinen again after he makes his pit stop. And because of that incident, there is now a virtual safety car, so Nicola Valtsreci will not be able to make an attack yet. Incredibly, in the previous race in Jeddah, we didn't have any safety cars despite a lot of incidents. And the same goes for Monaco, where we had a lot of crashes but no safety cars. So there seems to be a bit of a glitch in the game that sometimes it's not possible to have a full course caution. So let's hope that it's going to be fixed for today, because sometimes, I mean, it's not needed for a small incident like we just had, but in races like in Jeddah, where there was a massive pileup at some points, where including Logan Ron did get caught up. Of course, a safety car is necessary, so let's see if we will see one today. Virtual safety car has ended, and Niek van Gelder has timed it to perfection. He is attacking Logan Ron straight away into turn 12 and works his way up into second position. And also Freya Bila has lost a lot of time in that virtual safety car transition. He's only 4 tenths in front of Van Gelder now, so suddenly this race is back on here in the top 3. Great timing there from Van Gelder. He just caught Logan Ron asleep there. We've got Gaudi as well tuning into the live chat, cheering on Manuelito, aka Nicola van Gelder. He has just worked his way up into second position and is now chasing after Freya Bila. But it's not going to be easy to get past him because he has shown a really strong pace at the start of this race. Alexei Kovanemi, followed by Max Mulder. We can see Sonny Dudas behind them, and also Karen Wesson Edwards is fighting out there with Luke Smith in the Williams for 9th position. As you have this great overhead shot here into turn 7, this twisty flowing bit of this circuit. Yellow flags, one of the Aston Martins, that is Ivan Brito. He has made a mistake and dropped back to P14. That promotes Jurgen Moos back on pit in 13th, 1.5 seconds behind Robin Herstagen. So, onto the start-finish straight. Oh, look at this! Nicolo Valtresi has closed the gap to Freya Bila, and he is under a second as well. Of course, he is gonna have this DRS advantage now. Now, will he try and attack on the next lap? Also behind them, you can see the two Haas teammates there, Logan and Ron, followed by his fierce championship rival Tim Bentinck. So this is turning out to be a very nice race here at the front. We've got Freya Bila leading the way, fighting out with Nicola Valtresi, and behind them the two Haas teammates, the championship rivals. And I can already say to you now that they are not gonna be easy on each other whenever they get into a fight. Because there's a lot of pressure on both of them fighting for the championship, and I can tell you that they're not quite friends as well. Anyway, Nicola Valtresi, he is 4 tenths of a second behind Freya Bila. He's gonna have the DRS advantage on the start-finish straight here. Will he try and make a move into turn 1? Is Valtresi close enough? It doesn't seem like he is at the moment. He is sticking behind the Alpine in front of him. He is looking to the inside, but is gonna think better of it for now. And wisely so as well. Max Mulder here trying to get up the inside of Alexei Kovanemi. Up the inside, very, very tight there from Max Mulder, side by side almost. As he exits turn 1, Alexei Kovanemi just able to hang on. And also Luke Smith has managed to work his way around the McLaren of Cameron Weston Edwards up into 9th position. And there is a change for the lead. What has happened? Freya Bila has made a mistake. Apologies for not catching that, but Nicola Valtresi is your new leader. A rare mistake from Freya Bila has allowed Valtresi to take over the lead. And now he's got Logan Aron and Tim Wenting behind him. Wow, a rare mistake. That's a collector's item. He looked so good in front. He had such a good pace in the first couple of laps, but now he seems to be under pressure. Maybe he was pushed into that mistake by Valsracing. And also Logan Aron has managed to gap himself a little bit from his teammates. Vincenzo Torre getting past on Cameron West and Everest will start finish straight as Max Mulder gets a 3-second time penalty. The first driver in this race to get a time penalty for truck limits, of course, very easy to do around here. And here we've got Robin Hersthagen in 12th place, followed by Jurem Rusic. And behind them, Ivan Brito, and then Dion Staal, Jesper Lampinen at the back of this field after having an incident early on in the race. So this is the battle for P12. Jurem Rusic really close to the McLaren in front of him. Friends G saying that Nico is on his prime. He probably is, because he is coming off 2 race wins in a row. Has there been a mistake somewhere? Brief yellow flags. Doesn't seem to be related to a crash somewhere. But yeah, I can certainly agree to that. I mean, Nicola Valsracing, his performance in the last couple of races has been phenomenal. Coming off 2 race wins in succession in Monaco and Jeddah. P4 in the championship, leading this race as well at the moment. And he is showing that he is definitely one of the strongest drivers we've got there on the grid so far in this season. Mistake further back. What has happened? That's Jurem Rusic trying to get through on Robin Hersthagen. And he's made his move up into P12. Great driving there from Jurem Rusic. Apologies for missing that, but he has worked his way up into P12, and now the number 8 McLaren is under pressure from Ivan Brito in the Aston Martin. Oh, and Ivan Brito has gone for a spin there on the exit of turn 6, and he has taken out Ivan Brito with him. That is unfortunate. It looks like they are lucky enough to not have any damage, I don't think. Oh yeah, and Robin Hersthagen has overheated his tires now. That is a very difficult situation when those tires are overheated. You have to be really, really careful, as he demonstrates here. You just have to take it easy and just crawl to the pits to get a new set of tires, because yeah, otherwise this is gonna happen. I mean, it looks embarrassing, but we've all been in this situation at some point. And that is getting Jesper Lampinen back to the window here. Yeah, Robin, he's gonna have to get off these tires now. There's also Ivan Brito has pulled into the pit lane. What has happened to Max Mulder? I think he made a mistake as well. Max Mulder has suddenly dropped back to P10. I think he went for a spin as well on the inside there, clipping the curb, maybe potentially in turn 5. So apologies for not catching that, but he has also made a mistake. And Robin Hersthagen is now a lap down. And has actually retired from the session. He might have had damage as well. He could have maybe floor damage or something, because he was really struggling, so that might have made him make the decision. Max Mulder has gone for a spin again. And he has damaged his wing as well. You can see the left end plate being off, so really bad in-lap here from Max Mulder. seems to have settled down a little bit here at the front. As one of the McLarens has also gone for a spin. Is that Cameron Edwards? No. Yeah, it must have been. Because, of course, Robin Hersdagen is retired. I thought I saw somebody stationary, but Cameron's still running in 9th place. So Logan are on here. He is very, very close to Free Bilay, and he's going to have the DRS as well, of course, on the start-finish straight here. Let's see if he can separate himself and put a car in between him and his championship rival Tim Ventink. Logan around to the inside, now he goes to the outside. Free Bilay defends the inside. Logan around is trying to go the long way around into turn 1, side by side for Bilay and Aron. Free Bilay, very good defensive driving here, managing to stay in 2nd position. And now he runs wide, and Logan Aron takes a position further back as well. There's been a crash, I think. Somebody's left the session, and Ivan Brito looks to have gone for a spin. So, Logan Aron has separated himself now from his teammate. Tim Ventink will be desperate to follow suit and also get past on Free Bilay, who seems to be struggling a little bit now. Of course, he is on those medium tires as well, and the two Haas cars both started on those hard tires, so their tires are probably having the advantage now. I think the mediums are going off. This is, of course, the end of the first stint. So Tim Ventink has got to find a way around the opening in front of him if he doesn't pit, because he can't afford to lose time to Logan Aron. Is Free Bilay going to pit? He is not. So Tim Ventink is going to have to try and do the same thing that Logan Aron did. But I don't think he is close enough at the moment. Because already Logan Aron is over a second clear of Free Bilay and is out of the DRS 1 second window. So I think Tim Ventink is going to be a little bit frustrated here to be held up behind the Alpine of Free Bilay. Of course, he has every right to be there, but of course his tires are going to be going off a little bit. Jesper Lampinen, it seems like he has gone for a spin as well, but he is back going again. Max Mulder on those new tires sets a new fast lap, 1:18.9 for the Dutchman in the number 64 Mercedes. And Free Bilay still staying out. And also Jesper Lampinen has retired in the pit lane. Tim Ventink, he's got the DRS on Free Bilay. He's got to make a move, because he's losing time to Logan Aron. Up the inside into turn 1, and Tim Ventink does make his way through into 3rd position. Very nice move there from the Dutchman. Free Bilay does have a bit of a switchback line, but Tim Ventink gets the power down and makes it stick up into 3rd position. Okay, a couple of pit stops starting to happen as well, of course. All the medium runners coming in, so that shakes the grid up a little bit. Yellow flags as well. I think that was Jesper Lampinen still. And here we can see Cameron Weston Edwards following Vincenzo Torre, and Max Mulder just breaks his way through on Jurem Ristic, who came out of the pit lane. He was weaving around there, probably to heat up his tires or something, I don't know. And our race leader, Nicola Valtteri, is into the pit lane. He is gonna get off those medium tires that will relinquish Logan Aron back into the lead of this race. And his teammate Tim Ventink to join him in 2nd place. So it's the two Haas cars back at the front. But of course they're gonna run longer in this first stint and they still have to pit. This is Luke Smith into turn 1. Very, very close there, but Free Abile, look at that, Luke Smith having the preferred line here on the inside, which will turn to the outside for turn 2. Free Abile all the way up the inside, trying to defend on those cold hard tires, and Luke Smith keeps it on the outside and just moves himself up into 6th position. That was very, very close between the Williams and the Alpine. But of course, Free Abile, he was really struggling on those cold hard tires. It takes about a lap, maybe even 2 laps to get those tires heated up properly. So fair play for trying to defend it, but that was always going to be very, very difficult. Vincenzo Torre here in the Alfa Romeo, followed by the number 61 McLaren of Cameron Weston Edwards for 2 points in this race. And Ivan Brito has crashed there on the exit of turn 1. He has lost his front wing. Good on him for being careful rejoining the circuit, because he was coming up to the 2 Haas cars. A very, very tough race for the Portuguese driver. Weston Edwards here with the DRS. Not close enough yet. And also Free Abile. He has got those tires up to temperature again. And I think he's going to be looking to get past Luke Smith. I think he's a little bit faster at the moment. Especially after, of course, the pace he showed early on in this race, also qualifying on pole position. And also a fight going on here between Nicola Valtresi and Lewis Marshall. Valtresi up into 4th place. Dispatching the Williams driver. So, exiting the final corner, Free Abile here with the DRS. And it's an easy move on the start finish straight into turn 1. Up into 6th place for the Ethiopian. I don't think Luke Smith will have an answer to that. Vincenzo Torre still running in 9th place in front of Cameron Weston Edwards. He is still just under a second behind. So yeah, the only 2 close battles going on is Free Abile and Luke Smith, and Vincenzo Torre and Cameron Weston Edwards. Still 3 seconds separating the 2 Haas teammates as well. We'll pick up our race leader, Logan Aron. 2nd in the championship. If he wins today, the gap is going to be 2 points between him and Tim Bentinck. If he wins and picks up the fast lap, the gap will be only a single point. Tim Bentinck, I am sure he's pushing very hard to try and do something. The gap is just too large at the moment, 3 seconds. I mean, we know how fast Logan Aron is. It's going to be nearly impossible to close down 3 seconds. I think Tim Bentinck, he's going to need a mistake from Logan Aron or a safety car. Because they seem to be very, very evenly matched. As Logan Aron goes into the pit lane, and he's going to switch to those medium tires, so Tim Bentinck is going to try and overcut him. Of course, he can't pit on the same lap. Maybe Logan Aron came in early to cover off an undercut attempt from Tim Wentink. Now this pit stop is crucial. There was a bit of a glitch there, this pit stop was quicker in reality. Where is Logan going to come out? He is still in front of Luke Smith there, crucially. And this is like even Brito is retired as well. So only 13 drivers left in this race. Alexei Kovenemi here battling with Sandro Dulis. Dulis up the inside here into turn 3 and holds on to P7. It's been a very solid performance as well so far this season from Sandro Dulis. He is currently 7th in the championship on 81 points. I don't think he is quite there yet on what he wants to achieve. He said his aim was to finish in the top 5 in the standings, but he is still pretty close to that, being in P7. As Tim Wentink has followed his teammates a lap later, also switching to the medium tires. Logan Ron is already past him, and Tim Wentink, he is going to come out behind Lewis Marshall and Freya Belay, just in front of Luke Smith in P5 now. But of course the drivers in front of him are on all their hard tires. Look at this, Alexei Kovenemi, he has retaliated on Sandro Dulis, back up into P7, aided by the DRS. Alexei Kovenemi currently in P3 in the championship, behind those two Haas teammates, just in front of Nicola Valseresi. Gabriel Nicolodi also sharing on camera with Edwards, saying he needs to use more ERS. Also, yeah, always quite difficult to try and manage it right and use it in the places where you need it, because it's very easy to run out of it as well if you use it too much. But of course it is not as complicated as it used to be a couple of years ago with the ERS system. We had to constantly change all the mappings. Max Mulder, he's had a tough race. Seems like he's made a mistake again. He's down in P12, only in front of Jure Marisic. So Tim Wentink, he is in P5, he's got to make up more positions, because if it stays like it is, he will lose the championship lead to Logan Aron. Of course, he has got the fresher and softer tires than the two drivers in front of him, Freya Belay and Lewis Marshall. Actually, Lewis Marshall is still on the set of tires he started the race on, as is Luke Smith, running on 21 lap old hard tires. So Tim Wentink only will have to get past on Freya Belay to be back into P3 again after Lewis Marshall makes his pit stop. Now will Lewis Marshall pit on this lap? He won't. He is still sticking it out on those old hard tires. But I think Freya Belay is going to make easy work on him here on the start finish rate. With the DRS, Tim Wentink is going to be looking to capitalize on that as well. Freya Belay up the inside here into turn 1. And makes a stick on Lewis Marshall up to 3rd position. And now Tim Wentink is really close as well. Max Mulder's made a mistake again. He is off in the 2nd sector. Tim Wentink, he's got to be careful to make a clean pass here on Lewis Marshall. Of course, he is on much older tires. So Tim Wentink can't afford to lose time here. Yellow flags again. I think Jure Marisic has made a mistake. Tim Wentink, he can't do it just yet there. into the chicane turn 6 and 7. Gabriel Segman live tip suggests is a good Fortnite player. Tim Venting up the inside here into turn 12 and he makes it stick on Lewis Marshall up to 3rd position. Fourth position actually, because of course he still got Fria Bile in front. Hungary 10 is a commentator in the community piece for Star Cup. Good to know. Yeah, of course we did expect Peter to be here as a co-commentator, but not sure what is happening to him. But of course I'm doing the main commentary anyway, so it's all good. But now, of course, Nicola Valsreci, he had that massive undercut to those hard tires. Running on fresh tires with Logan and Ron was on the older hard tire. And Nicola Valsreci is still leading by 1.4 seconds with 11.5 laps left to go. Of course, Logan Ron does have the tire advantage, but Nicola Valsreci has got the track position advantage. And now Nicola Valsreci, he could win 3 races in a row if he manages to keep Logan Ron behind him. But that's going to be very, very difficult with Logan Ron being on those fresher tires. But Valsreci has certainly spiced his race up. As the Humus tries to get out of the way of drivers that are lapping him. And Tim Venting, he is very, very close to Fria Bile, trying to go to the outside here into turn 2, trying to get a crossover move. Fria Bile still defending P3. Tim Venting almost pushing him through turn 4 there. He's not going to be able to do anything in his really quick left-hander. So we've got a battle for P1 and a battle for P3 going on. Fria Bile, he has lost a lot of time. This group is now 10 seconds behind the leading group of Nicola Valsreci and Logan Aron. Further back we also got Luke Smith making a move on Cameron Weston Edwards. Lots of things going on suddenly here in this race. On to the start finish straight. This is your battle for the leads. Nicola Valsreci, he tries to go to the right, he tries to veer around the circuit to try and break that slipstream. Logan Aron is gonna look to the inside, he ducks to the inside. Is he gonna run it too deep? Nicola Valsreci is gonna have the strange break line here. Oh, and he kicks out the back end side by side. Logan Aron just gets a better exit and he does it the inside here for turn 2. Logan Aron back into the leads. And also Tim Venting, he's got the inside of Fria Bile here into turn 1. Tim Venting up into P3. So 2 position changes here in turn 1. However, this group is 10 seconds behind the leading group. Oh, Valsreci, I mean, he really tried to defend that. But there's almost no defending against a driver on fresher tires of Logan Ron's caliber as well. I think it's going to be very tough for Valsreci to try and stick with Logan Ron now. I mean, Valsreci, he will still have to do a rest here. So that will help him slightly to just try and stick with that Haas in front. But he can't do anything at the moment. Yeah, I think Logan Ron, he has got this race if he doesn't make a mistake. He does have that tire advantage. Oh, and he makes a mistake as well. That's just gonna lose him more time. Luke Smith here, trying to put Vincenzo Toro under pressure. We've got two drivers on softs as well. Dion Staal and Max Mulder have both pitted for fresh soft tires. So this is your closest battle. Vincenzo Toro followed by Luke Smith for P8. Luke Smith up the inside here into turn 6. Thinks better of it. Ah, Jurgen Rusic. He's had a tough day. I think this group is actually coming up to him at the moment. Yeah, there he is off to the side. And Lewis Marshall, finally, after 27 laps, has got rid of those hard tires. Luke Smith here, getting through on Vincenzo Toro on the outside into turn 1. Toro tries to defend it by keeping that inside line into turn 1. Smith trying to hang it on the outside. And he makes his way up into P7. Oh, Vincenzo Toro, he tries to duck to the inside there. That was very ambitious. But it didn't work out for him. Luke Smith up into 7th place. Logan on. If it stays like it is, he will take over the lead in the championship from Tim Wentink. Max Mulder, he's had a tough race as well. The three Dutchmen, Dion Staal, Max Mulder and Jurgen Rusic, have probably not really had the race that they were expecting. Sandro is here in a pretty lonely 6th position. He is 3 seconds behind Alexei Kovenemi. He can probably still keep him inside. He is on those hard tires, but he is still within 3.4 seconds. But Alexei Kovenemi does have that advantage in tires, so I don't think Sandro is going to be able to get closer to him. Luke Smith has managed to pull away as well from Vincenzo Toro, as he exceeds the track limits there and gets a 3-second time penalty for it, which would drop him back to P8 if it finishes like it is. The only thing Nicola Valtresi could hope for is if those medium tires that Logan Ron is on will wear off quicker than those hard tires that Valtresi is on. Of course, Logan Ron, his tires are fresher, but they are going to wear out a little bit quicker. There are still 5.5 laps left to go, as Lewis Marshall gets through on Vincenzo Toro here on the start-finish straight. So Lewis Marshall on his SR return, looking to finish inside the points here. We'll just keep an eye on that gap. It's 1.5 seconds. I think it's too large to bridge for Valtresi. I think Logan Ron, barring any mistakes, he has got this win covered if he doesn't do anything silly. I think those medium tires will last to the end. And if it stays like it is, Logan Ron will lead the World Championship by a single point over Tim Wentink. Max Mulder is into the pit lane. He has again taken a new set of soft tires. He's probably just gonna try and go for a fast lap. But it won't mean anything because he's outside the points, of course. So yeah, the field is relatively spread out in this final stage of the race. And there is still this relatively small gap between Logan Ron and Nicolas van Gelder here at the front. I mean, I can assure that they're both pushing to the absolute limit here. But it doesn't seem like Nicolas van Gelder can come close enough to make an attack. Humorous, he has lost the car on the exit of turn 4, it looks like, and he's broken his front wing. A very, very disappointing race from the Dutchman. .2 seconds is the gap now between Logan Ron and Nicolas van Gelder. If Nicolas van Gelder can just get inside the DRS 1 second window, then maybe he could have a chance to stick along with that Haas in front. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. Van Gelder, you gotta give credit to him though. He is closing down that gap. He's on older tires, but he's actually closed down the gap to almost under a second. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. Van Gelder has picked up the DRS, he has closed the gap to under a second, and he's got DRS with 3 laps to go here. The gap down to 8th. Is there going to be late fireworks here at the end of this race? Well, I did not expect this from Van Gelder. I thought it was done. After Logan Ron got past him on those pressure tires, and after Van Gelder made a slight mistake and dropped back to over a second behind him, I genuinely thought it was going to be over. Gotta give credit to Nicolas van Gelder. He is close to get back to under a second, 7/10. And Alexei Kovenemi has made a mistake as well. He's dropped back to P7. That promotes Sander Dulis back up into P5. And he is followed by Luke Smith, only 2 seconds separating them. And now Alexei Kovenemi is also under pressure again from Lewis Marshall. Also, Carmasa Everts has decided to pit for a fresh set of soft tires. This time he has lost the DRS again. Just 2 laps to go, and Van Gelder was just over a second behind. And also crucially, Tim Wentink, he has picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's got to be pushing very, very hard to try and get those 7/10s of Free Belay to salvage the podium here. Because otherwise he's going to drop by 3 points and get by 4 points in the championship. It's very costly to have picked up a penalty for Tim Wentink. It looks like Nicolas van Gelder is not able to do anything. He is just so close, but he's just not close enough. The gap is back down on the 8/10. He's gonna have DRS, but unfortunately the race is not long enough. We're heading on to the last lap. Logan Ron starts the last lap of this race. He's got Nicola Valtreisi behind him in the DRS, but it's just over 9/10. I don't think Valtreisi is going to be close enough on this final lap here to do anything on those older hard tires. Tim Venting, he is running in third position, but he does have a 3-second time penalty, so he will probably lose P3 to Free Bile. Running in fourth position. Senadul is in fifth place, followed by Luke Smith, putting him under pressure in this late stage of this race. But back at the front, you can see the gap. Nicola Valtreisi is pushing so hard, but he's just not close enough to make an attack. The race is just a lap or two too short for the Italian, and it looks like Logan Ron will hang on to the victory here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Look at Valtreisi, he's using all the track there to just try and do something. The gap is back to under 5/10 of a second. Is he going to try something desperate here in the final couple of corners? Look at this, just a couple of tenths separating Logan Ron and Nicola Valtreisi, but Logan Ron is going to hang on to win the Hungarian Grand Prix here. Logan Ron exits the final corner and wins round 13 and takes over the lead of the championship over Tim Venting. Nicola Valtreisi, well done to him. He gave it his all. He was pushing it to the absolute limit on that last lap, but he finishes in second place. Tim Venting crosses the line in third position, but crucially loses P3 to Free Bile due to that 5-second time penalty. Senadulis is coming through the penultimate corner now and will pick up P5 just in front of Luke Smith. So Dulis crosses the line in 5th place. Luke Smith will hang on to 6th place. Alexei Kovenemi just keeps Lewis Marshall behind him on his SRL return and does actually move up a position on Luke Smith because he also had a time penalty. Vincenzo Torre in 7th place. Luke Smith in 8th. Lewis Marshall on his SRL return, his first race in 1,043 days. He picks up 2 points in front of Cameron Wesson Edwards, who will cross the line to pick up the final points. Leon Stahl will come home in 11th place. He has got a lap car in front of him, with Max Mulder and Jurgen Misic being in P12 and P13. What a race though! Congratulations to Logan Ron, and well done Nicola Valtreisi. He just couldn't make it 3 in a row, but he didn't give up. Luke Smith gets driver of the day. Lewis Marshall, I finished the race, what a miracle. So Logan and Ron back to the top step of the podium. He retakes the lead in the championship over his teammate Tim Venting. And he certainly drove a great race today. And Nicola Valtreisi, you gotta take your head off for him, because he really gave it his all to just try and do something on that final lap. Well done to him. And Free Bile capitalizing on that penalty from Tim Venting, picking up a well-deserved podium after starting from pole position. So these are your official results. Logan Ron wins the race and picks up the fastest lap. Nicola Valtreisi finishes in a very hard-fought second place. Utter respect for him for trying it in that last lap. Free Bile in P3 in front of Tim Venting, who loses the championship lead. Senadulis in P5. P6 goes to Alexei Kovenemi. 7th, Vincenzo Torre. P8, Luke Smith. P9, Lewis Marshall. P10, Cameron Wesson Edwards. P11, Dion Stahl. P12, Max Mulder. P13, Jurgen Misic. And P14 to P16, Ivan Brito, Jesper Lampinen and Robin Hersthagen did not finish the race. So Logan Ron with the race win. He takes over the championship lead, albeit by a single point over Tim Venting. And apologies for the bad choice of music as well in the background menu. So, that was round 13 of Season 8 here in SRL. Senator is coming on the live chat saying that he was quite happy with his race. That's good to hear. Yeah, a solid 5th place in the end. And I'm just gonna turn down the music because it's not very good for the end of this stream. I think there's a way to actually change the music style. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Let's tune it down as well a little bit. Alright. Unfortunately, as I was spectating the race, I can't go into theater mode to look at the highlights. Let's go into the showroom and put the race-winning car up on screen here. And the car who is leading the championship. Of course, it's two Haas teammates, still 1 and 2. Just swap the other way around. And no virtual safety car indeed. Again, for the 3rd race in a row. But yeah, Logan Aron hanging on to a race win. Nicola Faltese nearly made it 3 in a row. But he did pick up a crucial 18 points, and he's definitely putting up a very, very good season. And he will actually take over P3 in the standings from Alexei Kovenami. Now he is still very far behind the top 2, over 50 points. But if he keeps this up, he's been really fast and consistent in the last few races, then he could be an outsider maybe to get himself into the frame towards the later stages of the season. But that is too early to say at the moment. Freya Bila coming on the live chat saying frustrating race. I mean, yeah, Freya Bila, he was so fast in qualifying and in the opening couple of laps. I mean, he already pulled away. It looked like he was gonna be a very strong contender for the race win, but then in the second phase of the race, he struggled a little bit more and he dropped back to P4 at some point. But of course, he still got a podium due to Tim Venting getting a 3-second time penalty. But still, a good race for Freya Bila. Just maybe not the race he was expecting, but still picked up a very solid 12 points. Even 15 points, of course, because he did get P3. But yeah, it's 26 points for Logan Aron. The race win and the fastest lap. And Tim Venting with only 12 points. So definitely a crucial race in the championship. Wait, did I say... Of course, Tim Venting, he even dropped to the podium. So it's gonna be 5 points between him and Logan Aron, if my math is correct. For some reason I had the 15 points in my head, but of course... yeah, of course Tim Venting dropped to P4, didn't he? He did. So that's just 12 points. So yeah, he did lose 14 points. So it means there's now 5 points separating Logan Aron and Tim Venting in the championship. Apologies for saying it wrong earlier. For some reason I had 15 points in my head. I thought Tim scored 15 and Logan 26. So then of course it would have been 1 point. Thoughts are tuning into the live chat. Bellissima Gara. Yeah, Nicolo, amazing race from you. I mean, those last few laps, I thought you wouldn't be able to challenge Logan Aron at the front, but you you just came back into it. You closed the gap to back on the second, got into the DRS, despite being on all the tires, and you closed the gap all the way down to like 2 or 3 tenths on that final lap. I mean, I can only have respect for just trying to give it everything on that last lap and for sticking with Logan on those final few laps. So yeah, well done finishing in second place. I mean, if you can't win them all, it could have been 3 in a row, but it's still a very solid second place, and you certainly proved that you wasn't going to give up at the end there. So a very, very interesting race for sure, and also a very interesting championship. I mean, I already can't wait for the next race to see what's going to happen between those championship rivals Tim Benting and Logan Ron, who now leads the championship by 5 points. It's great to have a championship fight again in SRL, and time will tell how this championship will play out. Anyway, this has been it for round 13 of season 8 here in SRL. Next week is going to be Bathurst for the Intercontinental GT3 Championship. And after that we'll be back with more F1 action. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who has tuned into the live wow, I can't even talk, it's been a long race. I want to thank everybody who tuned into the live stream very much for watching. And also to all the drivers, of course, for putting up another great show here today. So, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week for Mount Panorama Bathurst in the GT3 Championship. Well done, Logan Ron. Well done, Nicola Valtresi. And well done to Freya Pile for completing the podium. How is the championship gonna turn out? And who will be the champion once we come to that final round in Brazil? In 9 races time. It's definitely been a very, very good season so far, and I can't wait to see how it will pan out. So enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody. We'll see you for the next round in Bathurst for GT3. See you then.